brought out by Omid Scobie. This is called Endgame, Inside the Royal Family and the Monarchy's Fight for Survival. So it comes out today, and he promised the book would reveal moments the royal family should be ashamed of and shine a light on unsolved mysteries.
But the question on everyone's lips is whether or not the book lives up to all the hype. Well, we're joined by the royal biographer and broadcaster Angela Levin, and I believe the book has already been released down under, and you can also read it on Kindle, and it's coming out here in the UK at 9 a.m.
Yes.
Being able to have a little glance at it.
I've seen lots of parts of it because it was translated in Paris, and so I've picked up loads of different things. It's beyond revolting. It's so spiteful and nasty, and I'm quite sure that it's full of lies. I mean, I can tell you a few straight away if you like.
Absolutely, please.
Yes, or twisting, nasty twists of stories. They complained that coming on the day after the Queen died, when the four, William, Catherine and Harry and Meghan, went to see the flowers that had been planted by Windsor Castle. And they've moaned enormously that on the car going there, they didn't say a word to them, you see. And now, if actually you look at the truth, it was that they discovered that Meghan had ordered her own cameramen to come. They thought that was a very bad deal. They went round. She kept them waiting an hour and a quarter while she chose what to wear. And then they went in an under 2-minute drive. So they were very upset because the Queen was dead. Now, is that a big deal? Is that something to go over several pages? No, not. It's absolute nonsense.
Any slight against Meghan Markle or anything that seems not to go her way is deemed to be a big deal.
Yes, well, but that's why this whole book has come about. I mean, you can feel her knocking at Catherine, who is absolutely wonderful princess and marvellous in the royal family, and she's determined to smash the royal family to pieces. When she went to join the family, she felt she would be there to tell the Queen how to modernise it and to bring it up to date. And she's furious still that nobody took any notice of hers. Now, we all know if you come from a foreign country and you go and stay somewhere else, you need 1-2 years to get used to it. No, she wanted to go to the top. And you see how she pushes Harry out the way if she wants to meet it somewhere. And the nonsense that she hasn't known him or anything like that, but he admits he knows her friends. So it'll be the same as last time. So she tells the friend, and the friend talks.
The book is the title's Endgame and the Survival of the Royal Family. How ominous is that? I mean, how close do you feel it is to the end game of the royal family? I don't think people in this country, by and large, look and say, well, that's them finished. After Charles, that's that. There's nothing else going to happen.
I think it's his end game, actually. I think people will hate having anything to do with him. Certainly the royal family don't. It's also a lie that he said he's been with, very close and people who work for the royal family. But I've done 2 biographies where I've been, you have to really be nice to them. You have to wait. They're very cautious. They're only doing the job because they feel they are devoted to this country and to the royal family. So the fact that they know what he's up to is absolute nonsense that they would tell him these things.
Well, it'd be very easy, wouldn't it, for Meghan Markle to come out and put out a statement saying, I have had nothing to do with this book, everything in it is his own, lies or it's fictitious, and to distance herself. But the silence, you could say, speaks volumes.
Yes, it's very interesting because do you remember that she sued the Mail on Sunday and because of letters from her father that they actually put up on in the paper, and I'm waiting for her to sue Scobie because he was talking about the letters from the king to her and her letters from her to the king about the racism in the royal family. So we need to wait, and if actually she decides to sue him, then we can have one view, but I bet you that she won't do anything. How did he see it? It's nonsense. Who would show him that? Certainly not the king. It must have been Meghan. And the whole thing about being a...
Scobie's often credited with being a mouthpiece for Meghan Markle.
Yes.
Harry, how does he... We see this attempt recently. We hear there was a phone call on the King's birthday and whatever.
Was there?
Was there? You doubt that?
Very much so, yes. First of all, he can't just call the King because he doesn't have a mobile, so it would go through aides. He was very busy on that day. Nobody wants to spoil their birthday, to have someone saying, you still owe me lots of apologies and more to Meghan. You know, I don't think he got through, and I think it's a nonsense. That he wants to come in December. I think it's all... I think the new agents for Meghan have said, stop being moaning. You've got to... People are getting fed up with it, the same old moan. You've got to be bright and happy. So she's been that a couple of weeks. But it's too late when the book was published.
Yes. Is it too late for Harry in terms of distancing himself from what has been accused or released in Scobie's book here? Can Harry distance himself from this or not?
Well, he'll tell a few lies. We've heard that he's not actually always told the truth. And I think that the fact that if he did want to go for Christmas, which I doubt hugely, he won't be this time. And Meghan spoke to the King and had a lovely chat with him. Oh, yes, she can't stand this country. She doesn't want ever to come here. Please don't.
And, you know, from your experience of having met the royals, how do you think Prince William will feel about reading some of the things that have been said about his wife? The fact that she's a part-time royal, that the bar is set very low. Stepford wife, you know, keen Katie, all of these sorts of phrases. What do you think he'll make of that?
He will be incredibly angry, furious. He has a temper, and he will be furious. I think he can take it what it is for himself. But like most people, the person you love, you don't want them to be hurt. And I think he will be absolutely furious. He hasn't spoken to him. He won't speak to him. I think he's had it. And this is, I think, partly Meghan working because she doesn't want him to have any friends, any connection. So he does exactly what he's told. For her, walking behind her, getting pushed out the way without saying, please don't do this in public.
Well, Angela, we've got to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for your insight.